What's up, y'all? This is Daniel with the Southland Kennels. The topic of the video today is why it's important to maintain your kennels in your dog yard and keep your dogs in good living conditions. It's dark out right now and I wanted to make this video. So it just goes to prove my point that dog breeding is hard work. Owning dogs is hard work when you own multiple dogs. You know, you got to always stay on top of things because you never know who's going to stop by. You know, I start my days around 5 a.m. in the morning, and I've started this video around 7:45 p.m. and as soon as I got done, I went in, grabbed the camera and this little piece of paper that I want to show y'all. So I had been having problems with some of the neighbors not keeping their dogs up, and there's no leash law where I live, but the state law requires you to keep your dog on your property. It doesn't tell you how you have to do that. It doesn't say it's got to be in a kennel, it's got to be in a fence, it's got to be tethered. It doesn't say that. It just says the dog must remain on your property. So, you know, neighbors' dogs come down here and fight with my dogs through my fence, tear into the trash, do all kinds of stuff, you know, and then they started getting to where they was actually charging at me, barking, growling, trying to attack my other dogs. And then my son called me one day saying that the dog had him trapped on trampoline and wouldn't let him off. And so I thought, well, I'm gonna go talk to my neighbor. So I told him, I'm gonna give you the opportunity to fix it yourself before I get anyone else involved, but I don't want this happening again. You know, you never know what that dog is capable of doing, especially to a child. So the talk, I was polite with him, and asked him, you know, if he could keep his dogs on this property, and he basically was telling me what I needed to do to keep his dogs off my property, and that didn't sit too well with me, you know. So, you know, I didn't get rude with him. I just told him, you know, keep his dogs on there, and if over there, and if they don't, then I'm gonna get other people involved. Well, they came down even that same day. They came back a few days later. My dogs ended up having marks on their heads, you know, where they was fighting through the fence, and I didn't know where they was coming from at first until my son called me, and then my son actually got video of them pulling on our fence. They tore our fence up, fighting my dogs through the fence, and you know, so then I called the law and asked them what the state law is regarding dogs, and that's when they told me, hey, you know, they got to keep them on their property. You know, you can take them to court right now and file a civil suit on them, but you know, you probably don't want to do that. It's just going to give you bad blood between your neighbors. So I let him know that I contacted the law, but I didn't report anything. He never responded to me. We was on pretty good terms up until that point. Well, then his dogs came down here charging at me and one of my other dogs while we was out of the fence. So I called the cops that day and told them not, you know, they needed to come out here. Well, they came out here and stated, you know, we just deal with vicious dogs. You know, they didn't consider this dog vicious. So once again, nothing happened. Let me go over here away from that air conditioner. Sorry for the lighting, but I just want to prove my point that it's hard work to maintain, you know, property and multiple dogs and kennels. So anyways, the cops came, nothing happened that day. Animal control wouldn't ever come. One morning before work, I was feeding my dogs, and the neighbor also has a pit bull. It wasn't the pit bull that was causing all the problems before, but then one morning I came out before 6 a.m. and here comes a pit bull charging at me. Well, out of all the problems I'd had on my property, I just started carrying a gun with me to feed my dogs, which is bullcrap to have to do on your own property. But, you know, the cops told me that I could shoot the dog if I needed to. And obviously I didn't want to do that, or don't want to do that. But, you know, if it comes down to me, my kids, or that dog, you know, that's the owner's fault. So I had to defend myself with a gun that day. He tried to attack me. He kept charging at me while I was shooting at him. So then I called the cops, called the non-emergency 911 number, reported it, told them my address 3 times. Animal control finally contacted me Then they wanted to do something about it. And then I get a phone call from one of my kids that day saying animal control's on the property. You know, they're doing an investigation on my dogs because, like I said in the video the other day, you know, people commonly mistake American Bulldogs for American Pit Bull Terriers. I don't know why or how, but it just happens. So I come home and I have this on my door telling me to confine my dog, and I was told to give them a call. So out of all the times I called them, they never responded to any of my phone calls, never went and paid my neighbor a visit. The cops even told them that they needed to go over there. Nothing happened until, you know, I fired a weapon at a dog. Then they wanted to get involved. Well, not only did they get involved, they came to my house, my property, and performed an investigation. And that's what they told me. You know, we performed an investigation. I wasn't too nice to them, you know. I told them how sorry they was and told them they needed to be better at their job, because I give them my address 3 times and give them the dog owner's address, which is on a different road. My property touches 2 different roads, and that guy lives on another road. So how they confused the 2 addresses, no idea. But they did come out here. They did take pictures. They took video. And then after I called them, I got calls from 3 different people all the way up, you know, the food chain, if that's what you want to call it, from the highest up, just apologizing. But one thing that they did say, you know, the point of the story that I'm trying to make is, they said the dogs that, on my property were kept in excellent condition. You know, and I'm not saying that to be bragging or boasting about anything. It's just, that's why you need to be ready at all times for anyone to step on your property. No matter if it's animal control, if it's a neighbor down the road, or somebody just passing through and sees dogs and they come on your property. If they see one thing suspicious, you bet they're going to report you. Because for every one person that's okay, and that's okay with dog breeding and dog breeders, there's 100 people that's not. They're out to get you, for the most part. They don't like it. They want you to support shelters, and they don't believe in purebred dogs and all that nonsense. They're looking to shut you down. And especially if you have a bulldog type dog, or any kind of dog that could be misidentified as a pit bull, you got to cross your T's and dot your I's. And it's not easy to do that when you have multiple dogs. You know, I put in 12, 14 hours, 12, 14-hour days, you know, and that's not just with the dogs and the property. That's including my full-time job. But you know, you got a job on top of a job. You got 2 jobs when you want to raise dogs and raise animals. So it's hard work. And for all of y'all out there that's supporting this guy or anyone else that's like him, you're not doing anything for the cause of people's rights to breed dogs. They want to take that away from people, you know. They actually tried to pass a law in my hometown, in my home county, that stated that every male dog must be neutered and every female dog must be spayed. It didn't pass, but they still tried it. And that's, you know, to me, that's just not right. But the reason they do that is because of the people like the guy that I'm talking about. He had 37 or 39 dogs taken away from him. For one, that's a large amount of dogs. But if you have the property and you have the upkeep, you know, you keep 200 dogs. I don't care, as long as you're keeping them upright. But he had them on a small property, horrible living conditions. They was living, not just using them as dog houses. They was living in transport carriers, crates, whatever you want to call them. The little things that look like a dog house with a wire gate, that's what these dogs were living in a dark garage full of filth. And it's just bullcrap that this guy is being supported so heavily like he is, but he's really a fake and a fraud. And you know, if he sees this video, I don't care. You know, you ain't got nothing to say to me, partner. You know, I keep my dogs upright, and there's plenty of other people on YouTube that go above and beyond what I do. I'm not saying that I'm the best, never will, never have. There's a lot of people on YouTube that do it way better than me, and I look up to those people because I know what goes into it. So hope y'all enjoyed this story. I just wanted to share my experience and let everyone know why it is so important to maintain your kennels, your dog yard, and the health of your animals. If you like what you see, subscribe, like the video, leave me a comment in the comment section. Thank y'all for watching.